Hello, friends! Welcome back. It is Sunday. Welcome to the channel. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. We are here to have some fun. I have some fabulous friends all around me. We're going to be playing some pirates. It'll be great. We'll get into it. But first, I'm going to let my fabulous friends introduce themselves because they are fabulous and you should all follow them. Um, so we're going to start actually directly underneath me on the overlay with Pooja. Hello, Pooja. Welcome back. It's been a while. Hi.
Hi, it has been a while. And hi, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I am Pooja. You can find me over on Twitter at Pooja and at Poojaberwalkie in the Twitch chat today and on Instagram. And I play lots of different TTRPG games, and you can generally find more information about that on my link tree with my current streaming schedule, which is linked in my Twitter bio.
Always a good thing. I should kind of figure that out. Wow. But you're much more organized at this stuff than I am at the moment. And then directly next to Pooja, to my southeast, would be Lydia. Hello, Lydia. Welcome in. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. And I bring no networking value to this whatsoever, but I'm so happy to be here because I haven't done this in almost a year now, and I kind of miss it a little bit. I'm Lydia, half house tournament on Twitter. Used to do online streaming in the year that never was, 2 years now, but now firmly back in my UK time zone. So if you have never seen me, that's perfectly fine. That's absolutely okay. I draw a little bit. I boost others who are still in the TTRPG scene, and occasionally I write scathing tweets on Margaret Thatcher, and that's apparently what I do these days. But otherwise, I'm here in Scotland and work as a tour guide. So when Prax said pirates, 18th century, I was like, "Oh, historical RPG! I am here for it," and that's why I'm here.
I am here to bring you into funness that is. We'll have fun. I'm glad you're here. Also,
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you could come. Also, that we could arrange a time when you could actually have
That is the
time
big
zone.
thing. Yep.
Time zones are a thing. And then directly above Lydia is someone else we know very well on this channel. Hello, Alyssa. Welcome back. It's nice to see you.
Hello. I know. I have returned. The prodigal son has returned briefly from the abyss that is prepping for going to medical school. So, hi, I'm Alyssa or Sandra Slamilton around the things. I used to do this, and now for the most part, I study for the MCAT and work a full-time job that has nothing to do with the MCAT and play with my cat. So I am glad to be back for more pirates. I love pirates. I'm very excited. It's nice to be back.
It is great to be back. So, for those of you who do not know, this is a Descended from the Queen game, which is a means I wrote this game and I used it used the used the For the Queen SRD. For the Queen is a game published by Evil Hat. But if you want to find my game, which is Captain Blood's Odyssey, it is easily found as soon as I find the link, right here from my itch. Also, there's a link for those of you watching live on directly below in a panel on my Twitch page. But the link is also in chat. Fun times, things that we do. So the way this works is we go around and we're going to start with the rules because ooh, wait, okay, hold on. Out of order. So we'll all right. So we are going to start with the rules and then I'll just drag them because they're currently out of order. As you each of us will start me and then just go around clockwise, which would be me, Alyssa, Lydia, Pooja, reading the rules aloud. And then we're going to do the setting, And the rules should kind of help give you an idea of how this very improv history-based game that is also based on a Sabatini novel. Let's hear it for early 20th centuries Italian swashbuckling history books that eventually get turned into really decent Errol Flynn movies. There are a bunch of them. So we're gonna start with find the rules. I have to read them in order. Okay. There we go. Rules. Read these rules aloud, each player taking a turn. Lisa?
When a player draws a question card, they have 3 options.
Okay. Read it aloud and answer it from their character's viewpoint.
Okay. Pass it to the next player in turn order, saying, I'd like to hear your answer to this question.
Tap the X card or otherwise indicate that the card is being X-carded and draw another one to replace it.
A player who answers a question card may do so as simply or as elaborately as they wish. Other players may make suggestions or ask follow-up questions, and the one who drew the card can accept those suggestions or answer those questions to whatever extent they prefer.
A player who receives a passed card may answer it, X-card it, or pass it the same way the original player did. The original player's turn is now over, and the player who received the pass card's turn will be over when they pass or answer it.
X-carding a card does not end a player's turn. They draw the next card and continue. Players can also X-card prompts that are drawn by other players or any other content that arises during the game. The X card removes the content from the game and does not need to be explained or justified by the one who used it.
Last one is actually an explanation that the X card was created. The X card was originally developed by John Stropopoulos and is adapted for the use in this game. To learn more about the X card, there's a tiny URL. Questions, comments, queries, thoughts, considering anything? It becomes pretty obvious. Hide that deck to make it slightly easier for us. And then, all right. Choose. Oh, here we go. The Caribbean, 1688.
The sea is rich with Spanish galleons, French frigates, and British merchant ships.
Slightly opposing the term British in 1688, but okay.
Look, we'll get there. There's an actual reason for it. I'm working within the historical period that existed, freely acknowledging that the acts of union haven't occurred yet, and therefore Britain doesn't exist.
I know, there's only so much space on the cards. These ships make for right pickings for the pirates under the command of the infamous captor Peter Blood.
Look, we're going to be fully historically accurate. No.
No, you might be.
No. Lydia, please describe for the audience what your day job is so they will understand why you are finding my inaccuracy hilarious, although it made for witty writing.
Yeah. So I've made being a smart ass my profession, and I'm a tour guide in Scotland, and I'm working with the National Trust for Scotland at the moment, so I can't help it. That's my excuse, and I'll stick with it.
And technically you're not wrong. The act of union doesn't occur until the 1840. I don't know. It's in the 1815.
No, so the Union of Crowns between England and Scotland happens in 1603, and then the official Union of Parliaments is in 1707.
Okay, so there we go. 1707. See, she knows all of this stuff. I don't. I just remember the horrible act of union that makes the British crown gives Victoria the title Queen of England and Ireland.
Oh, I mean, yeah, colonialism is a whole new horrible horse of hell.
Yes, exactly. So we leave
that I can agree with.
I
was gonna say you get no disagreement from any of us here.
Nope.
That one I could chime in on.
We all agree on this one. So yes, technically Britain doesn't exist, but those ships that exist are English and they're ripe for pickings for the pirate. Go read the card.
The Scots helped out already. We were not in any way, shape, or form blameless. And the next time I hear a Scottish person going, "But we were indentured servants," I will slap them. Different thing. Altogether, I lost track. Tangent. Where were we?
The card. You're going to read the card that's currently on the floor.
Oh yeah, right pickings there. I think I read that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Right pickings.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it is your turn.
Okay, just checking. You are crew members who escaped penal slavery with Captain Blood a mere 3 years ago.
That is actually a historical point about that. Rumors of war between France and England have been growing daily. Oops, wait, hold on. Oh well, it doesn't. Wrong. I did it wrong. This one should come first. You read this one.
But the political changes in Europe have begun to have an effect even in the warm waters of the Caribbean.
Rumors of, and then that would be this point where I would play. Rumors of war between France and England have been growing daily. And then, Lydia, just read the last one. Or it'll be great.
If England calls for aid, will you accept their pardon?
That will be the question of this game.
Yay, England.
See, this
Yay,
time
England,
I remember to call it
indeed.
England and not Britain. Okay.
What's the year again?
1688.
1688. What are my people actually doing in 1688? Are the British even there yet? I don't know when they came to India. I don't remember this stuff
I
anymore.
think the East India Trading Company.
East India Trading Company already exists. Obviously, we haven't managed to kind of.
They haven't managed to
yet,
colonize us yet, have they? Okay,
they're about to, but
we're still
the
a
whole
free
thing really
people.
just kicks off later.
Oh, lovely. Okay, great. I can come into this as a free person.
lots of spice trade, of course, with cloves, cinnamon, star anise, and all that stuff. But and fabrics.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull some images and we're just going to lay them out here. This is we're now picking our Captain Blood. Captain Peter Blood is his official name, by the way, the character in the Rafael Sabatini novel. And the Captain Blood movies. Yes, there's more than one. So this is our, not Captain Blood, this is Sir Henry Morgan. This is the illustrated cover of the original book. The original, never to be forgotten and or really replaced Captain Blood from the first movie with Errol Flynn and Olivia de Havilland in 1935.
Do you just need a moment to talk about Errol Flynn, Prax?
I have no shame in acknowledging that the man who went from being a trapeze artist and stunt performer goes on to becoming a major heartthrob in the 1930s through 40s, and also, was a really politically well-connected individual, and did all of his own stunts in sword fighting.
Amazing.
Amazing, right? But that's okay. We can continue with George Macready and Lomas Hayward in The Adventure of Captain Blood.
Gonna veto that. Too slimy.
This one
is a bit greasy for me.
The Capitaine de Sanguine.
Okay, Kenneth Branagh, let's go.
Same thought just now.
This is the French version.
He looks so Kenneth Branagh.
I mean, I'm here for
Look at that smile.
Exactly.
But especially
Yes.
Kenneth Branagh and whatever the character's name was he played in the Harry Potter films.
Yeah, that's Gilderoy Lockhart.
Yes.
That is what that is.
That
It's
is
just a
Gilderoy
shitty grit. I want to punch it,
That is Gilderoy Lockhart. By the way, the person you should thank for this wonderful collection is Jim Otherdock, who is currently in chat.
Of course, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
I wrote this game and he helped me set up. He did the first playmat setup on Roll20 for me, and he's the one that found all of these great Captain Blood images, and we appreciate him for it. We have this is the cover of one of the other books, where this is supposed to be Captain Blood. Looks less piratey and more of him in his before he becomes a pirate period of time, where he's an Irishman serving as a doctor in England.
I don't know. I've seen this guy at like a club before, like on a rave. That's
Yeah, but he would be somehow oddly too sober for the rave.
Oh, absolutely. Like he's a buzzkill, but he's there.
Amazing.
So oddly specific.
We love odd specificity.
We have
Hey, Captain Morgan, what up?
we have the better looking Captain Morgan.
I mean, I might out myself here, but I would
But I would. See, that's all you gotta say.
not proud of it, but
Whatever sails the seven seas, am I right?
Sometimes.
What happens on the water stays on the water.
Also true. Apparently Jim found the Captain Blood, who is a member of I believe it was the Welsh rugby team in the 1950s. I could be wrong.
Was he a fly half or something?
I'm just here for those arms. My God.
I know. It's making me wish I wasn't so lazy these days.
Those arms with a sword in them?
And look, you need a lot of upper body strength and tension to swing on a rope and board a different ship.
This is why I could never be a pirate. I have no upper body strength.
yes, this is the main reason. Indeed.
This is the only reason. Listen,
Only
my
reason.
dreams lay incomplete because of my lack of upper body strength.
And the last one I'm gonna pull, because the other one we're not gonna do, is unfortunately, I really wish this actually existed. This is the cover art and the character design for the proposed video game that never got completed. You can find like clips of it online, and this cover
My
art
God, amazing.
from the Captain Blood from Rafael Sabatini, and you're just like, well, that's a greatly impractical both flintlock and sword. But his hair is great.
Wait. I thought we said at the top, we are not here for historical accuracy.
I didn't say I am not worried about the historical inaccuracy. I said impractical.
We're not here for the historical impracticalities either.
Well, since
it's all in our brain anyway.
Yeah. And then the last one Jim found was apparently a perfect 1980s Captain Blood in space.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
But somehow I just don't feel like this really fits. Somehow.
Just unless we were doing a Treasure Planet situation. Which, much love to that movie. Underrated.
Very underrated. So, do we have any thoughts of anything we think we should?
Well, first of all, we should get Jim a therapist, because he clearly went to the deepest, darkest depths of pirate internet pictures. Are you okay, Jim?
just say, put a hand up in the chat if you need help.
I quite like the buckled guy from, I think it was the second or third picture. Like, that was I think a reasonable amount of buckles.
the one swinging from the ropes or whatever?
No, like slightly Captain Hook, but
yes.
old timey.
That one.
Which one?
With the blue shirt.
The original?
In the middle back there.
No.
Errol Flynn.
Or the original cover?
No, none of them, I think. Oh, that guy. Yeah, the Sabatini one.
The original cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that one.
I like buckles. What can I say?
Buckles are good.
Buckles are good. I'm here for the original cover.
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to recall them all. I'm going to take out the original cover and put it out for us. Unfortunately, the audience can no longer see it because of just the way I had to do everything. But that is who we have chosen, people. So if we need an occasional reminder, I can just slide it over and you can see that. Important. Now we have a visual image to tie into all of this. So we know that this is set in the Caribbean in 1688. We know that nominally each of us is all tied to Captain Blood's pirate crew, and there's some interesting things going on between England and France that are kind of manipulating things. And the question we will eventually have to answer is if we choose to accept pardon and England. It's always one of those things to say.
I mean,
I feel like it's gonna be a no.
No?
The over-under on it being no is pretty high.
Okay, so this is one of those times when I love to ask these questions, particularly because I do these historical games, is I love to ask before we actually start playing what your answer would be, just straight up you as the player. Not you as the character, but you as the player.
I did look up the Indian history timeline. England has not crimed my people yet. But I mean, yeah, I think it's still a no. I think let's do open seas our way.
Exactly. We'll just get to the answer, because when we eventually get to the answer, we'll see if that changes. Lydia, your opinion before we get started.
Well, with all due respect, King William can go fuck himself.
Yeah, go fuck off back to Orange, William. Take
He
your
can fuck himself orange and blue if he wants to.
Take your freaking wife with you. Alyssa.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be the third no. It's a no from me.
See, look, I would like to remind everybody that my family is from the west of Ireland. Fuck off the British Crown inherently. That's even still our response.
We love being aligned on these things.
Yes.
Mhm.
But we will see if that changes at the end after the prompts, and if the characters make different choices than we as the players would, because sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
That's been known to happen. So... what I'm going to... yeah. Alright, so you should be easy to just grab one, and we'll start with Alyssa. And just grab one of the prompts and pull it onto... deal it onto... oh, no, not... wait, hold on. Pull that one. I'm just going to remove that for a second.
Okay. I was gonna say. I
That's
drew
less-
one and then it like, yeah.
Yeah, it gave you the last card that we don't want yet.
I don't know why it did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, let me just shuffle the rest. Okay, no.
Oh, there it goes.
Yep.
Now it has one. Roll20 and I clearly haven't had our usual talk beforehand, which is you're going to function for me. I haven't done that in a minute. So it's gone back to its usual naughty ways. But as for a prompt, you once saw the captain express his anger towards a prisoner. Why did this make you respect him more? Well, sometimes when you work for a captain like Captain Blood, a man that is known not necessarily for being, the cruelest of them all, he tends to be a very fair man. When he goes a little off the deep end, it's just that much more exciting. Like, oh, somebody actually can push your buttons in a big way. Like, we like to I appreciate when he takes the moment to step out into the angry side.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
What made him angry?
I think this prisoner was very, how it. Well, I expect that most prisoners would feel this way. They want to be let go, like, oh no, please let me go. But I think this guy was just like being very like forward and uncouth to the rest of the crew, that in a way that it was like, all right, I've been nice enough. This is time. The hammer comes down.
Love it.
I have a follow-up question. Is this appropriate? Was this a public event?
I think this might have been more private. It might have been I was kind of the only witness. So it keeps his reputation intact, but I know that there is anger boiling underneath.
Which leads me to another follow-up question. Why were you the only witness?
Admittedly, I was where I wasn't supposed to be. It was entirely possible that I was maybe responsible for the prisoner misbehaving by taunting the prisoner outside the bars and saying England can fuck off, and it kind of, I was decidedly in the shadows by the time it got, Captain Blood to come down and say something, but it might have been a little bit my fault.
Got nothing further on that.
Did he eventually end up killing that prisoner? What happened to the prisoner is what I'd like to know.
As far as I know, that prisoner's not on the ship. Whether he died or was ransomed back or what, I have no idea. And if Blood's anger was anything to actually be reckoned with, I don't think I actually want to know. You know, a little mystery is good.
Are you drawing the cards, or should I be?
Go ahead. You should be able to deal one to yourself and then just draw it out.
Um,
Will you send a portion of your cut to Europe? To whom are you sending it? So I figure my character, and I will make her female, even though that might not be historically accurate on pirate boats, but
I mean, we had Anne,
Hard
we
to
had
say,
Megan, we had our dear friend Gran O'Malley.
I know.
She predated this event by 100 years.
But I figure my character got into the boat, or got up on the boat, just not for piracy's sake, not for adventure's sake, but something very simple, as in making money and surviving in a place that was new. And she left family behind, was forced to leave family behind, and as far as she knows, still has a sister back in the Highlands of Scotland, because I have a role to fulfill here. And she doesn't quite know what has happened to that sister, where she is now. She should be coming of age soon, but has not received letters in a long, long time. But in an attempt to just pretend everything's fine, she keeps sending that money back. Doesn't know if it ever actually gets there. Doesn't know if the sister actually gets it. And eventually she'll check up on that address, somehow make it back home, but for now that's all she can do.
Follow-up question. Who do you think took care of your sister while you were imprisoned?
Kitty. The kitty?
Suddenly a big kitty face appeared.
She's definitely not a small cat, that's for sure.
Always here for surprise cats. She hopes that someone from the croft that she grew up in took her in, given that her crimes, whichever they may be, would not reflect well on anyone in the family. There were talks, there were little arrangements behind those that led rebellions and those that stayed out of it to take in innocents and just make them one of the family. So the letters and the money has been going not to directly her sister's name, but a neighboring family with a different surname, but in the same clan, in the same crofter area, somewhere up in Caithness. And yes, I totally said Caithness because it means cat, and the cat just jumped into the picture.
Love to see it.
How old was this sister?
Let's say 12, 13. And I've been away for 4 years.
Any other family you...
None I choose to acknowledge, given that they are cowards. Certainly none of them acknowledge me, so I think that goes both ways and it all evens out in the long run.
And do you trust the individual you're sending?
Yes. More than anyone else in my actual blood family, so... Can I be sure? No. But is it the best option at the moment? Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay. Draw. One card. Oh, okay. Here we go. The captain's skill as a doctor once saved your life. Why did this surprise you? Because I thought I was a goner. One doesn't really expect to come back from being stabbed while out doing illegal things. So it was a like, I think I made my peace with the end, and it was surprising for it not to have been, and especially because I had no idea that the captain even had this skill.
Well, what were you doing that got you stabbed in the first place?
Well, I might have been at a pub hitting on a barmaid when a man got mad about it and stabbed me.
That'll do it.
Yeah, she had no ring. How was I to know?
Even with a ring, it's a bit of an overreaction.
And in my defense, she flirted back.
Was the captain there? Is that how he managed to use his doctor skills, or did someone bring you to him?
No, I think Captain Blood occasionally comes out with us, when we make land for a night out. So no, the captain was there, and I don't know what else happened. I kind of passed out from the blood loss. So I heard that we had to leave there pretty fast after whatever went down between our ship's folks and the people in that pub.
If they stab one of ours, we stab one of them.
Yeah, something like that. But
no, it's the rule. They send one of ours to the hospital, we send one of theirs to the morgue.
Yeah.
Rules of escalation. That's,
All I know is that when I came to and I asked what happened, I was told, don't worry about it.
Who told you not to worry about it?
My friends on the ship. I think the captain, was busy captaining by the time I came to. So it was my buddies.
I'm imagining one of the NPCs being Trooper because the "don't worry about it" is such a Trooper line. Don't even worry about it.
Canon.
Canon.
I think it is just Trooper, right? Like there's no like adjustment. We're not changing his name. It's just Trooper.
It's just Trooper.
It's just Trooper.
Perfect name for a pirate. Yeah.
Trooper's just there. We don't know. No reason. Just there.
No, where he appeared from, he's just there.
He's just there. But I guess the other question is, when you got stabbed, what was this barmaid's reaction?
She was horrified. Like I said, she was flirting back. I don't think the guy who stabbed me was actually with her. I think he just wanted to be with her.
Did you eventually, slyly and sneakily revisit that barmaid? Just to let her know you're fine.
It's the plan the next time we make port there. But like I said, we had to leave pretty fast, and we haven't been back yet. I like to think she dreams of me at night and wonders what happened.
What happened to the pirate that got stabbed in front of me?
Could go lots of ways. Ooh. Why did you join the rebellion against James II in 1685? Fuck the English crown.
No further questions.
Admittedly, I freely acknowledge that he will eventually go to Ireland and recruit a whole bunch of Irishmen to fight for him for his bloodless civil war against William of Orange, but fuck the English crown.
Even I can't argue with that.
Even if he wants to pretend to be a Scot. Look, James II could at best be called French.
Again, even I can't argue with that. What's in a name? Even that was changed thanks to Mary, so to be French.
That's literally it. Nothing further. Fuck the English.
But how did you fuck the English crown? That is a mental image I caused. Sorry. What did you do? What was your crime that you were being taken away from? Taken away for?
So, nominally based on the rebellions in the Midlands in the 60s, which were quasi in support of Puritans, who were also rejected. But I am. Oop, we lost.
No.
Nope. There.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I think I wasn't actually participating in the actual rebellion itself, but I took advantage of just shoot a bunch of just British soldiers who came to put down the rebellion because it was a proactive thing. I didn't really have a dog in this fight between Englishmen rebelling against the English crown, but it was like, oh wait, there's a bunch of fuckers here who are messing around with local peasants who aren't doing shit. I get to shoot Englishmen. Shooting redcoats is always fun. No, excuse me, they're not redcoats yet. Just shooting the British officers is always fun. Preferably stabbing them in the back, but you know. Proactive. That's what
Down with the English crown. All right. Where did the card go that I had?
It's right here.
There it goes. The captain knows that you committed a serious crime during the escape from the plantation. Why does he protect you still? Well, I mean, look, sometimes when there's an escape, you do a murder. And sometimes you don't do a murder just for the fun of doing a murder. You do a murder because it saves the captain's life. So it's, not always a bad thing to be a murderous little thief that got in trouble.
Word.
It's not like I was like stabbing him. It was just, it was just a little murder.
Is it a murder that anyone can tie to you?
I'm not sure, but the captain seems a little worried about it. So we just don't talk about it much. It did, like I said, saved his life, but also maybe not my finest work, if it were, if we're honest.
Was this, well, you said finest work, so roughly what number murder would you say this is of yours?
Well, I don't know my numbers that well. Or my letters.
I said roughly.
But I imagine it's a big one. It's a big, whatever.
Did you just stop
counting
counting when you got into the double digits?
What's a double digit?
More than 2 hands.
More than 2 hands. But, most of them were for money. And some of them were for fun. Well, a couple were for fun. And this, we were escaping the plantation. I thought the captain was gonna get zeroed out. So I, maybe went a little extra stabby to make sure the captain got away. And maybe the 3rd or 4th stab through the neck was overkill. But, who's to say?
Was the person you stabbed someone important or just a random guards person?
Well, he had a big officer coat on, so I assume he was important. I always remember the certain, epaulets and things. They tend to mean something. So he seemed to be a big time guy. But, we all bleed the same, so.
Is your prevalence for aggressive murder a reason why the captain usually doesn't like you to be hanging around prisoners?
Yeah, well, yeah. Usually, yeah.
Around is
You get paid. You get paid to do something. You get good at it, and sometimes you get a little. You're a little proud of your work.
How much are you enjoying what you get paid to do and what you're good at?
If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. Am I right?
You're right.
I'm pretty sure murder wasn't included in that uplifting motivational quote.
Listen. Whose fault is it that they did not think about all the eventualities?
Mine.
Just keep her in front of me during battle rather than behind.
I know the rules. No one
but
on
you
the
might-
ship that works for the crew. The crew is don't touch the crew.
The crew all have "I'm with the crew" on the back of their
Yep.
Yep.
jackets, just in case your character gets a little bit stab happy.
I know. Yeah.
All right.
I don't have anything on that one.
Good.
Oh. Card. There we go. Well, piggyback off that.
Didn't we just do this?
Yep. And we're gonna do this again or more, because I'm just gonna jump off that. Why do you fear another member of the crew? What is your character's name?
Oh, we'll just call her Elizabeth.
So, one of the early battles that I participated in, being no longer just someone who, I don't know, would work in the kitchen. That is, not called kitchen, but I forgot the word for it. Caboose, something like that.
Galley.
So after my character, Beatrice, by the way, Beatrice has started taking more of an active role and more of an active interest in being part of the crew. First battle, and she gets stabbed, and not by the enemy. It is Elizabeth who got a little bit overexcited, and given that she was new, had not yet fought with the crew, she didn't quite realize that, from behind, that was one of their own. It wasn't too bad. I wasn't actually life-threatening. I feel like just nice little hole through the arm that luckily did not get infected.
It was very
But-
small.
Yeah, you may have been getting the evil eye ever since whenever battle
I
starts.
left a
Beatrice
bottle
tries-
of rum near the galley.
And she's forgiven
Whenever someone in the crew does something wrong and they try to apologize, they give each other rum, or usually when they're happy, or when they're sad, or when it's raining. So I just left a bottle of rum and thought that would be an apology.
Or you may have been happy about stabbing her. But I feel like we have probably made up, and feel free to jump into that at any point. I don't want to make any decisions for you.
Yeah.
I feel like it took a lot of rum, and it took a proper drunken night out with the emotional feels vomiting of tragic backstories. And I was actually really like you. You're just really scary, but you're actually really cool, and I want to be like you. No, I want to be that sort of bullshit.
Yes, very, very touchy-feely and sweet.
And very hungover the next day.
So, immediate question is, what prevented it from being a bigger hole when you got stopped the first time?
I kind of recognized when I realized, the little stiletto went through it. It's like, oh wait, I think that's one of ours.
So
And
you
just
do
shoot,
have
pulled
self-restraint.
it out.
All right. As Lynn says, you're
Just
not
a little
really-
stab.
As Lynn says, you're not truly part of the crew until you're lightly stabbed.
Little stabbing as a treat, just a little.
Amazing.
Except for Captain Blood. I've never stabbed him, but that's just a loyalty thing.
I'll try not to take that personally. Oh.
Pretty sure everyone else has been stabbed at least once. Nicked by nicked here and there. Like, look, I can do that hand thing and stab my own hand,
These things happen.
Yeah.
Anything else for Beatrice?
Even though we've made up, do you still fear me a little bit?
You'll notice that at the beginning of every battle, she makes sure she's not directly in front of you. Just a little bit on the side every now and then. Where is the lizard? Oh, over there. I'm safe.
Just a wave.
It's fair. Okay, I will pull the next card. Why do you sneak into Port Royal regularly? Well, sneak is in the eyes of the beholder. I think I sneak off when we go to Port Royal, but the only person who knows where I'm going is the captain. And the reason I sneak into Port Royal is to meet somebody who is there.
Is that your tavern wench? Are we?
No, not the tavern wench, but possibly the reason I got imprisoned in the first place.
Ooh.
Dum dum dum.
And only the captain knows.
Only the captain knows where I go. I think to everybody else, Port Royal, we're out having a good time, and you just, I don't know what you assume, but you're like, oh, she's gone again. Wonder what she's up to.
I would also like to remind people that we probably wouldn't be going to Port Royal for a good time, except to sneak in, because, it is the seat of the governor who wants to kill us all.
Oh. Listen, Elizabeth's out there doing some murder, because it's, English officers. What are you going to do?
I mean, that is fair and valid. Murder is an English officers. But I have to ask, is this individual that you are meeting that I don't know nothing about and have no earthly idea that you could possibly be in any way, shape, or form engaging in inappropriate acts with, or appropriate acts, I don't know, I'm not there. Are they in any way tied to the young lady that the captain goes sneaking off to go see?
Yes, because when we left, the captain arranged for her to work in the house of the lady the captain goes see. Which is why the captain had to know, because the captain had to help with getting her safe employment.
Just sort of imagining like docking somewhere near Port Royal where you can sneak in and two of you leave one way and come back with the same sort of sheepish grins on your faces.
Ever just run into each other in the hallway.
Listen, so some people do think the captain and I are just sneaking off together, and we've just never bothered to correct anyone because it's safer that way.
And if any of the crew followed any of you, would we would learn otherwise, but so we just keep the rumor alive that they sneak off together.
I mean, we sneak off together and go into the same building. What does the crew know happens in there?
And I'm assuming you know, both of you, given that you sneak into the same building, both of you are aware why and that you're doing it.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
The captain and I, I have a mutual understanding, respect. This is the way to keep the people we care for safe. And what's a little rumor on the high seas?
What are you doing to reinforce this rumor outside of, sneaking?
There's an occasional over-familiarity that is deliberate, but I think more than that, the captain, it was just, people like to think of it as strange because of our the fact that I'm a woman and the captain is a man, but honestly, it's just being friends. You're friends with somebody of the opposite sex, and people tend to make assumptions. Also, I love this captain for having so many women on board.
I'm liking it. I'm here for it.
I have no more questions.
So why were you transported to the colonies to be sold as a slave? Because I shot a fuck ton of Englishmen in the back. And that is a valid unit of measurement.
Yeah.
Fuck ton.
Yep. It's more than 2 hands.
It's more than 2 hands.
Shit ton more hands. That's another valid unit of measurement. There's, a shit ton and then there's a fuck ton. Bigger.
Fuck ton is bigger than the shit ton, I
Exactly.
assume.
Exactly.
Is that metric or imperial?
Metric doesn't exist yet, but,
Fuck Imperial anyway.
True.
Would ton technically exist? Never mind. Tangents.
How often do you sit and compare your English officers that you've rattled off to Elizabeth's list of just whoever she's been paid to kill? Lots of English officers, but
You think Elizabeth shows up with a list and is like, am I at a fuck ton yet?
absolutely. Unless she can't read because she's illiterate. But
It's a list of slashes.
Yeah. It's like marks.
Yeah. Is this
Is
a
my
fuck
notch
ton yet?
belt.
No, but you're
Have I
about...
made the fuck ton?
No, you're about 5 short of a shit ton.
Yeah. All right, well, I need to go kill 5 people.
And I have to be honest.
What's a 5?
That might be it.
5 is...
Keep going. Keep going. Hey!
Oh.
Because we have now at the point of names, her name is going to be Bridget, because why the fuck? Yeah. And I want to just say that she occasionally messes with Elizabeth's list of like the numbers of the number of people.
Amazing.
Just because it's there and hilarious.
I can't read. I can't count. Makes for an easy target.
Yeah, but I don't let you get conned by anybody else. There's a difference there.
That's true. The crew sticks together.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't let you carry your own money purse because you don't know how much coin is in there, and therefore you could seriously overpay for shit.
I know that this little one, is 1 beer.
Yes, that's 1 beer.
1 ale. That's all I need. Maybe 1 bread. Although you can just take bread. Bread's just free. If it's stout, you just take it. Just don't get caught.
Good. That technically also applies to ale.
It's a lot harder to steal the ale, though. Or I just haven't tried right.
A lot more people would be more pissed off if you took their ale.
It's true.
So we have to make sure to piss off the right kind of people.
Once it won't be missed when you stab them. There, valid.
Mm-hmm. I think I got nothing else for Bridget.
I keep getting these easy to answer ones.
I love it though.
Very straightforward.
Oh, I did have a question.
Yes.
Did you escape en route to the colonies? Escape? Like, did you?
No, I
Fine,
probably... I'm going to use the actual backstory from Captain Blood, which is, in the actual book and the movie, Captain Peter Blood is part of a group of, rebels. He isn't actually a rebel himself, he's just medically treating them because he's a surgeon. And the English crown, James II, is like, I'm going to execute all of you! And there's a whole bunch of English, plantation owners in Jamaica who are like, we need more labor and workforce. I'm not going to execute all of you, you're going to Jamaica!
Okay.
I mean, I figure Bridget would have been along the lines of, oh, we're going to be sent somewhere else, and I have an opportunity to escape and or possibly stab more people who who support the English crown. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the escape of the plantation, Captain Blood arranges, and then everybody who's in penal servitude, a bunch of the other slaves on the plantations, escape with Captain Blood and go on to become pirates.
Love to see it.
It's like, fuck colonizers. At least at that point.
No, but also generally in life.
Yeah. All right.
Next card.
Okay. Come on. There you are. All right. Colonel Bishop, governor of Jamaica, once spared you. How did you earn his favor? I don't know if that would have ever actually happened, so I'll pass this one.
Is that passing it to me?
Yep.
Automatically the next one in line? So Bishop. Do you have some backstory on Bishop? I'm assuming it's from the book.
Colonel Bishop is the royal governor of Jamaica. And, well, spoiler alert, so the young lady that the good captain is going out sneaking around to go see is Colonel Bishop's daughter. Played by Olivia de Havilland in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Would Bishop be on James's side?
Yes, he's
At that
a
point? Yes.
staunch supporter and a militant English.
Yeah.
He's the great villain in the book, even more than James is. He feels personally affronted by the escape of Blood, and then the fact that Blood begins harassing all of the English ships that are around.
Then I'm gonna turn this into something religious.
Oh, go for
I feel
it.
Beatrice is a staunch Catholic, brought up as such, and her reason for being deported is more so against William than James. I feel like William may have already sent it's before the actual Jacobite risings, but it's starting to boil up. So with William sending troops up north, I feel in her area, a fort was established. People kicked off the land, and she was with the locals that try to get rid of William's soldiers and William's troops there. So it's not directly fealty to James. It's not, I subscribe wholly to this cause. I don't actually care who's on the throne as long as they leave me and my people alone. And I believe Bishop, if we turn him in, if he's with James II, he would be Catholic too. So I think this was one of those cases of every now and then we spare one to make ourselves feel better about what we do. And a young girl who is clearly also Catholic and starts reciting the Lord's Prayer with a very dedication, and not just for show as many other prisoners would do. That caught his eye, and he spared her because A, she doesn't seem like much of a threat anyway. I can turn this into some big PR move of sparing one, and he can quiet his Catholic guilt about it. So he spared her. It's less as a favor. I wouldn't really call this earn his favor. It was more of a right place, right time, right prayer. She's still gonna stab him next time she sees him because he killed everyone else she knew and loved in that particular group, so yeah.
I guess my most immediate question is, are you going to stab to hurt or stab to kill? Just canon purposes, you know.
I want him to see me before he dies. I want him to recognize me. Just in that last moment. And then immediate, that's a bad thought, but I'm gonna have it anyway.
Have you seen him since?
I think so. I feel like this conversation might have happened in a tavern after we've been back for the first time, and you saw Bia's reaction to seeing him maybe a proclamation or some holiday, some public holiday that he was out there in the town square.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw her visceral reaction to it. So if Bridget asked that as they come, or as all of you calm her down in the tavern, this is where Prax's previous question comes in.
I've got just the knife for you, so when the time comes.
Just let me do it.
Oh yeah, no, you could just you could have this. It's a good murder knife.
You can get a few stabs in as well.
Can be backup.
Does the captain know about any of this?
No. He may know that she doesn't like him, and she curses his name, but I don't think he knows the complete story. She may have, if this is okay, I don't know with the prompt of the thing, if she joined after this to find money to find the ship and wasn't part of the original group in that plantation, I think that would work quite well.
Mm-hmm. Hey, anything that wants to make works for your story, it's our table. We can do what we want.
Yeah.
We're rebels.
Woo! Yeah.
Planning to murderize a shit ton of English.
Mhm.
I support all of this.
Yeah, he knows she doesn't like him, but nobody does on that ship for various personal or not or general or ideological reasons. But I think this might be the first time she's talked about where she comes from and why.
Okay. Should I draw?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. You may be English, but you have strong ties to France. What are they? So my lady friend and I ran to France together. And, you know, the French just didn't seem to care about us because they got it. At first, they're like, oh, English women. And then they're like, oh, okay. So France was a refuge. France was a safe place. And say what you will about the French, they respect strong emotions.
How long were you in France then before you got tangled up in all of our business?
We lived happily in France for a little over 2 years before we had to come back to England and everything went south.
So you and your lady friends were transported together?
No, I was the only one transported, but this is where I worked with Captain Blood and arranged for her to also leave England and find employment in the governor's house.
What caused you to have to go back to England?
It wasn't my choice, but the things you do for love. A lady friend had an ailing parent and needed to be there. And while we were there, someone went telling tales of illicit activities or whatever, and I got her out. Got myself nabbed in the process.
I just have a small little quandary. Just a small inquiry. Nothing you need to worry about. Not a big deal at all. Just a wee little. So this barmaid you keep talking about wanting to go see.
Mm-hmm.
How's she tie in with your, fine lady friend that you arranged private employment with the governor with, and still go seeing? I like to know these things.
Well, I mean, it's okay. We have an unconventional arrangement that when we're together, and when we're not, we're certainly not nuns.
How healthy relationships. I can understand this. And I appreciate this.
Or
Sorry, Alyssa, you cut out.
arguably, I just read Matrix by Lauren Groff. Perhaps more like nuns. I was going to say I just read Matrix by Lauren Groff, so it's possible that you're more like nuns than you realize.
Fair enough. Touche.
A book recommendation, Alyssa.
I mean, it was a very interesting book, I gotta say. But
Okay, if you give a book recommendation, you have to put it in the chat on this channel so that we can all go find it and read it.
oh yes, yes. I will say go in with very little knowledge other than there's nuns and the rest. The rest
Nuns
is,
and clearly fun. There's nuns and fun.
Fun
nuns and lesbians. Nuns and
Nuns.
lesbians. It was a very interesting book.
But did you like it though?
I think so. In thinking
Okay.
about it, it was definitely one when I first walked away from it. I'm like, I was mad at the ending, and then it just took me a minute. I'm like, no, it makes sense that it kind of wrapped up the way that it did.
Gotcha.
But yes,
All right. Well, I think actually that's a perfect point for us to take a break for the afternoon, stretch, refresh ourselves, get more water out. So we'll put about 8 minutes on the clock for you all, and we'll be back shortly. My buttons. And we will see you shortly. Also, maybe take the second to pull up your wish list and add the new book recommendation. Just saying. But we'll see you in a few, everybody. Bye. Hello, everybody. We're back. Here to cause you more drama and mayhem as we murderize our way through the Caribbean. So, I believe we hope you are refreshed, you stretched, you feel better. Did everything you need. I believe it is my turn. And Snap Camera just died on me.
No.
Is the way of the snap cam.
Well. I can fix this. I can fix this. Snap cam. There we go. Okay. So, who wants... Oh, it's my turn. Alright. So, I can go. Doop. Ooh, you have made a sworn enemy of a French pirate. Why do you still care about them? Ooh, so, I think because they are... I think he was a close personal friend before I possibly murderized romantic attachments.
Why did you...
No.
I was gonna say,
we were all thinking it.
was this because this French pirate was supposed to be your romantic entanglement?
No,
and
I think...
murdering your competition?
No, I think that would have been almost easier for him to accept. No, it was because she saw Elizabeth stabbing somebody and needed to clean up a little mess. And mostly because she was about to scream and call the guard down on our heads and...
Oops.
Wait, so why do you still care about said pirate?
Because he did save my life once. I saved his, and then it was back and forth. Friendly rivalry, I say? Possibly. Could definitely say. And probably just a small wee bit, he's not unattractive, let's put it that way. Wouldn't kick him out of bed, but it wasn't a romantic entanglement, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet. If you had your will.
I don't close doors that might be enjoyable.
Very diplomatic answer.
Look, the sex would have been secondary. It was always about the fact that he was a better friend at the moment. We were gonna sleep together. Either one of those. And it's much harder to find it's a lot harder to find somebody that you trust at your back who wasn't going to stab you through the back than it is to find somebody. Or fuck.
There's a penetration joke in there somewhere.
Or 3.
Don't say the thing. Don't say the thing, Lydia.
What, Lydia?
Say the thing. Say it.
the thing.
Say it. This is a safe space.
they don't let me out anymore.
No.
Listen, we love it and accept it.
Mhm.
Anna wants you to say it. You can type it in chat if you don't feel comfortable saying it out loud. Or I'll just copy and paste it from our Zoom chat.
Traitor.
How often do you, in terms of French pirate, how often do you see this French pirate?
I mean, it was a not uncommon occurrence. Like maybe once a month, every couple. Just happened to be in the same ports at the same time, kind of. Less often now since I'm. He did publicly swear to murder me. Just avoiding the confrontation for them.
That would complicate things, yes.
Exactly.
Can he be reasoned with? You had good motives.
I mean, they're French. He's got that hot blood problem all up and around. I figure if we gave it another couple months, he'll get over it and find somebody else that he's attached to. And
How did you guys first meet?
a drinking competition. I don't.
Who won?
I did. Halfway because I was drinking better than he was, and halfway because he got mildly distracted by somebody trying to glitch his wallet. And he left the table without finishing the drink first, so therefore I won by. But I was winning anyway, so it doesn't.
Said Elizabeth, punching his wallet.
I have no comment on who may or may not have been glitching his wallet.
I'm not ashamed.
It's not. If you started being ashamed about wallets, this would be really odd priorities.
Well, I was a little ashamed of the wallet itself. It wasn't very attractive to look at, and there wasn't very much in it. So really, it wasn't worth it.
Really, he should be ashamed?
He should be ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
But he was losing, so
Which meant he had to keep
that I
paying.
can confirm. Yeah, which was hard to do because there really wasn't much in that wallet. I'm just reveling in the friendly rivalry of the French pirate who remains nameless.
Love it. What is French pirate's name?
I'm just thinking of the last time I had to think of a French name on camera on the spot, and it went right to Jacques Cousteau.
Actually, on this particular card, as I recall.
I think it was.
Hold, please. We want French pirate's name. Oh God, no. Yes, of course, it's got to be this. His name is Porthos.
Mm-hmm.
His sash was given to him by the Queen of America.
But of course it was.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Lynn, for confirming.
That
It was
indeed
this
on this very card. Yeah, I think that's it. Unless anyone else has got any other
Okay.
questions.
No. Well, get to the draw. Come on. There you are. How does your presence harm the captain's reputation among the crew? I mean, simple. Murder baby. just why does the captain continue to put up with me and my no manners and all of the other things? Because he just does for some reason. He's supposed to be this fair and gentle guy, and then there's me that is like standing, he'll have a nice negotiation tactic and using his highfalutin doctor words, and I'm just standing back there with a giant knife slapping it against my hand like time's up. It's a good balance, for how we're perceived by others and, when a raid is happening, but it definitely makes the crew kind of go like, are you sure you sure you want to keep this one? Why? It's
This specific one?
It's like when Lilo goes to the adoption place and she gets to choose a dog. She picks Stitch, and they're like, "Are you sure you want this dog?" And she goes, "Yes, I want this dog."
Did you just describe your whole dynamic as Lilo and Stitch? Because I'm here for it.
Love it.
Let's be pirates. Disney.
Captain Blood's like, there's good in her somewhere, I promise.
Oh, Hannah means family.
That's exactly what it's like.
So, is there a deeper reason? That begs the question why you have enjoyed possibly more leniency than others regarding your behavior. It can't just be the double act, good cop, bad cop situation. Is there a secret reason why you're why you haven't been kicked off the boat yet?
I think it's partially because there was when the whole plantation uprising thing happened, like I think Elizabeth was just so enamored with his way of doing things because it's so opposite of anyone she's ever known, or like the whole way she's lived, that she became very like attached to him. Like I must serve this man and protect him and all that kind of thing. And so like when they escaped and she killed the presumably very important person, she didn't really pay attention to save his life. Like, maybe Captain Blood sees like potential good in there, that there is like a possibility of some kind of, I wouldn't say rehabilitation, but at least like there's room for character growth in here, just outside of just you destroy everything because you can. So it is very much the Lilo and Stitch approach.
Has there been a moment where the crew almost brought it to, or where the crew has almost been brought to mutiny, or where it's actually become a problem?
Well, I guess I could ask you on the crew if it's ever been. It's certainly not like a comfortable thing. Like people are very, it's not like Elizabeth's not difficult, but I suppose that's for the rest of the crew. Has it affected the desire for mutiny?
I mean, I don't think so. I think it's balance, perhaps some people's perceptions of the captain. Less about the goody two-shoe pacifist doctor. Added some perhaps context.
Somebody has to do the hard work of killing people and deputized to do the killing.
Here's a question I have. It seems that both Elizabeth and Bridget do a lot of killing. Why are you worse?
I mean, Bridget has a political cause, and I don't need one. Sometimes just, the proper coin is enough. And I'm also willing to play with my food before I eat it, as it were.
Okay.
It's not always, I don't necessarily do the quick and easy sort of kill if I don't have to.
A little bit of a sadistic streak.
Yeah, it's there. It's probably not the best quality in a person, but it is
Kind of hot.
It's what you got.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right.
Mhm.
We'll leave my turn again, unless anyone has more questions.
Nope.
I'm gonna X-card this. You held a respected profession in England. What was it? Just does not at all fit with the backstory with
Any of the backstories
for.
we've created.
Yeah.
Not at all.
We've never been respectable. How dare you?
I don't know. Maybe Ronnie was respectable at one point.
That's true. Could be.
Not really.
I mean, maybe even Elizabeth could have been respected at one point.
I mean,
Respected as
Probably
an
not.
assassin?
Nah, probably not.
Nah.
So draw another one.
What business do you dream of owning in Port Royal? Oh, I think that fits quite well, actually. Don't think Bea's never meant to become had never meant to become a pirate, had never meant to end up here in the first place. I think she used to do a lot of weaving, working with fabric. Grew up thinking that's what she would do for the rest of her life. And it always brings a little bit of peace of mind going back to that. Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna make a knitting pirate here. Whenever she gets the chance on the boat, day off, just sitting somewhere crocheting or knitting. Some form of fabric business. Yeah. Weaving specifically. Crocheting, knitting, if applicable. I don't think she wants to do this forever. And she realizes she will probably not be able to go back. Although I think that's her ultimate goal. But if that's not an option, little place that she can call her own would be good.
do you think she would call for her sister to try to send for her to join if she can find her?
Without a doubt, yeah. Yeah.
How do you have a timeline for how soon you want to be able to do this? Are you actively working towards this?
I think yes, most of the money I make. You never really see her squandering it much. You never really see her throwing it out for drink and fun times. She might have a connection in Port Royal who keeps money for her. Get a little bit together to buy a place.
Is this connection at Port Royal a future business partner?
I'd say, yeah, I like that idea. Yeah. Someone who might have, or at least claims to have connections back on the British Isles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Does your plan to return to Scotland concrete plan, or is it a dream, a hope? Sometimes.
She's watching the political situation unfold. And she does enjoy her time on the boat. So there is no concrete timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly thinking by the end of the decade, she might have enough money together. Little did she know.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Does anybody have anything else, or should I pull?
I think that's you.
Go ahead.
Okay. There it is. Okay. You have a personal hatred for the French crown. Why? I think, well, Ronnie wrote to the French when she was imprisoned, since she'd already been living there for a while, essentially asking them to claim her as French so that she could say that I'm not an English subject, I'm a French subject now. And it didn't even make it up to the crown, let's be real. But folks acting on behalf of the French crown left her out to dry. And she has hatred for all crowns, let's be real. But the French is among them. She loves France, hates the crown. Because it's just, being left out there in the wind by everybody. So that's why she is generally of the screw the government mindset.
Did you ever have any, like, was this ever a real possibility that you would have ever even embraced the
She did, yes, because she got in over the time that she was there. Ronnie is very resourceful, and she was favored by the lord whose land she was on. So, she had favor within the French aristocracy, and at least somebody she thought somebody to speak for her in her absence. And it was made clear in the correspondence that said person did not think the French crown would give a crap. And Ronnie says, if you're not gonna give a crap about your citizens, what is the point of you? It was kind of like a right to your senator kind of a situation.
Right to your English, right to your French Duke.
Yeah, basically. Your marquis.
Just remembering my own experiences with that. Back when I had a senator.
Yeah. What a thought.
Is there anything that you do to change?
I mean, I think so. I think Ronnie desperately wants that idyllic life where she felt safe back. And if, for various reasons right now, that's not in the cards, but if that were to be arranged for them to just disappear into the countryside and not be bothered, I think Ronnie would put aside her hatred for the crown for the sake of living a life of peace and quiet.
Is that like his goals to go back to Scotland, live quietly, or is it a dream, possible dream, or a attainable dream?
I think it really depends on the day and how narrow their last escape was. Ronnie's aware that there's a very good chance that this life will get her killed before she gets there. But if it doesn't, if she miraculously manages to survive, with enough funds for herself and her young maid, it's a pleasant dream to dream. I love that we have all these pirates who just like, the life of piracy chose me.
You have the two, the life of piracy chose me, but I want to be better. And then you have the two, nah, shit, fuck, I'm gonna murderize the fuck out of y'all.
Yep.
Listen, Ronnie
Balance.
has done her share of murderizing, but it's not what she wants in life. It's just what she got in life.
That's all fair. All fair.
Many ways of being a female pirate in the 1680s.
Exactly.
The feminine urge to murderize and stab, and the feminine urge to just crochet somewhere in the country.
That's the feminine urge to be a witch in the woods.
Why limit your options, people? You can have all of it.
I blame the government. They be out here limiting my options.
Look, I can't deny that one. Even Morticia Adams had to have sacrificed some things for. She couldn't run around and serve the dark powers at all times because she was raising a wife. She was raising children and.
Yeah, exactly.
Limits. No, there's limits in time. Okay. Anybody else got anything to add?
I'm good.
No. Feel good with that.
Okay. Ooh, you once acted against the Articles of Brotherhood of Pirates. Why? I think, I think it's one of those where the rules were guidelines rather than And Bridget's reaction is, we're not supposed to murderize prisoners. But no one else knew that he was surrendering at the time, so it didn't matter. So he wasn't a prisoner yet. And,
Did he deserve it?
yes.
Why?
Because he tried for one of the crew in the back. He also was a scum-sucking, like, one of those sniveling yes man, not officers of the British Navy, English Navy. Not, not high enough rank to actually be an officer, and therefore, according to them, gentlemen, but enough to have some authority or something, like a captain of a gun crew or something. And he used that to take advantage of certain people under his authority at various points in time. I'd witnessed and heard and known about this particular individual's ability to suck up to just the right amount of officers, that he never quite got caught doing what he shouldn't, but always been a problem to those under his authority, and may have accidentally caused the death of one of the younger crew on his vessel. And look, we're here to murderize a shit ton of English officers of any variety, but I have a line about, adults. No one under the age of, 16. Particularly not if they're under your own command. That just seems wrong. So I shot him! Before anyone else could realize he was surrendering.
How did the Brotherhood of Pirates find out?
I don't know that they did. I just acted against the articles.
How does the captain feel about all of this?
I defer to you all. Does the captain know?
This could be a nice little moment for one of us on the crew seeing it and establishing a relationship. I feel like Bea wasn't there yet. I feel like this was before she joined the crew.
Yeah, I think if Ronnie was the one who saw it, I think she'd be fine with it. Ronnie embraces personal morals over rules as a general approach to life. And, well, a shithead got what was coming. Seems fair.
Mm-hmm. I can get behind that.
Yeah. So Ronnie for sure did not tell Captain Blood. I don't think Ronnie actively withholds information. She just doesn't see it as relevant. I imagine if Captain Blood was like, oh, whatever happened to so-and-so, Ronnie was like, seems like he got what was coming to him. Then that was kind of the end of that conversation from her perspective. We don't snitch.
And murder was justifiable homicide.
Yeah.
Was this the only time you've acted against the articles?
Since they've been signed.
Everything else was no convictions.
Exactly. Rules weren't in existence, therefore I can't be convicted.
Princess Carolyn, please. Getting groomed and held in place. Off to the side. Well, I can't think of anything else if there's no other questions. Okay. Colonel Bishop, the governor of Jamaica, has a personal enmity towards you. How did you anger him? How didn't I? I mean, my existence is very much not something that should be on a man of that high rankings radar. But I think I have the perfect thing. I think he had very secretly and tried to do it through back channels, wanted something taken care of. And he unfortunately used the language that people use when they're putting out ads for wet work. And I'm the one that took it because Elizabeth just, if the money was good, the situation was a little strange, the shadowy meeting in the corner. But it's not the first time somebody's asked someone else to be taken care of in that way. And I think it's entirely possible that not only did I misunderstand the assignment, which was just to rough up whoever it was Colonel Bishop was trying to get a little bit of squeezing and money out, but I fully killed the wrong person. Very important. And very important to Colonel Bishop, I should say. And it just not my finest hour. Another English, pig officer down, but probably should have read the instructions or had someone read them to me.
Oh, this is so character it hurts.
Look, we all love a little more. Our little. It's fine.
Here's the question. Did you ever think that you should have actually, did you actually consider asking someone to read the instructions to you?
No, not even a little bit. Absolutely not.
Yay.
But regardless, the person that was supposed to be the intended target that was just supposed to be roughed up a little bit and sort of put the fear of God into, certainly had the fear of God put into him, but it's only because somebody else got murdered that wasn't supposed to. And Colonel Bishop was quite furious and didn't pay. That was the other thing. He totally stiffed me on it. So the hatred is mutual. You should follow through on your contracts. I put my little handprint on it and everything. But unfortunately, yes, I didn't read the instructions.
Okay, and given what we talked about earlier, where you said you would give Bea the first chance for murder, do you still feel that way?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I just don't like him because he stiffed me. I don't,
And that's not a mortal offense?
I mean, it's definitely high up there, but she has a very righteous quest, and Elizabeth maybe is not the best at all of the cues, but that one seems like a big one. I can let
Respect.
I'm giving my knife for the cause, but I don't have to be the one that plunges it in.
Fair enough.
Elizabeth has a very unique version of a moral code, I feel. And it makes perfect sense in her head.
But absolutely nobody else can follow it.
Nope.
Um, out of random curiosity, how did the good Colonel Bishop identify you personally as the individual who perhaps did the thing that complicated his life by killing the wrong person that he... Little thing.
I kind of did it in front of him. Well, because he's like, I'll be meeting with the guy in 2 hours, and I followed him for what I thought was 2 hours. Turns out it was not. There was only one bell. I only know it was one bell because it made the long noise and not the double long noise.
No, numbers are hard.
Numbers are hard. So the person he was meeting with wasn't the person I was supposed to rough up. It was somebody else.
Pretty sure I made that exact mistake in a mission in Assassin's Creed Black Flag at some point, where I killed the guy I was supposed to. That sounds familiar. Yeah.
It could happen. It could happen. It could happen to any of us.
Have you seen the good Colonel since this snafu?
No. At least I don't think so, because I do my best to avoid Port Royal at all costs. Because he is certainly not the only person that wants me caught and killed on sight. So I just don't tend to go there if I don't have to.
Does he have any fear of you, perhaps complaining that the gentleman tried to hire you for professional?
I think he thinks that is a definite thing that I would do, but I don't think I care. I think I've told everybody and their brother at this point. Like, everyone knows. It's like, yeah, this big fancy governor guy hired me for a job once. It didn't go well. It's not like I'm not like secretive about it, and I don't, but I think there's enough people who are just like, yeah, okay, Elizabeth, okay, good talk. Not realizing, like, no, it was the big guy, the guy in the house, the governor, so he's probably afraid of people finding out, but nobody really believes me anyway. Just sounds like something I'm just saying.
Ronnie believes you, but is also not surprised that the governor would do that. He's like, yep, that sounds exactly right. Yeah. And no one's going to believe you if you try to use I was a hired assassin as a defense. So maybe you should stay away.
Okay. Are you going to sneak off with the captain again?
Yeah, we'll be back before you know it. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll be back before you count to 8. How about that?
Okay. I can do this.
She just walks away.
I'll keep her occupied for the next 10 minutes.
Exactly.
I don't
Meanwhile,
know what this one is.
Meanwhile, another now.
I also kind of feel like Elizabeth is one of those people that is like, wouldn't like absolutely understand like insanely difficult complex theories and could spit like verbatim things that she's heard back to people, but because she can't spell or read or write or use numbers, like it's just all lost.
Elizabeth is a strategy genius.
We love her.
We love her. We love our murder bunny.
Everybody needs one.
Yeah.
Is that you're absolutely mad? Yes. Otherwise, I'm glad, and I'm glad because otherwise this wouldn't work. Line.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it my turn again?
It
I
is
lost
your
track.
turn.
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. How did the captain prove his loyalty to the crew? I'm gonna open this up to everyone if you have ideas, because I feel like this would involve us all.
I mean, I think in addition to all the little things that we've talked about, like saving our lives, keeping our secrets, I think given how many scraps we get into, I think the captain has probably on more than one occasion put himself in jeopardy in what would be a fool's errand to save members of the crew when we're outnumbered.
If it's one event that would cement this, then maybe it's something like being offered amnesty in exchange for some of the people, you know, dangerous murderizing criminals that are on his crew, and him declining it.
Yeah. He chose the crew over his own safety and his own redemption, as it were.
I see that. He's also and I think ties into things we've already said, but I think it's like also doesn't give, I mean, like, looking at this picture of this Sabatini, this Captain Blood we chose, it's like, he's not a young man. Right? You know, he's slightly older, he's a little more experienced, he doesn't have any, it's like, no, I don't have to give a fuck about this shit. Beyond it. You know, he cares about what's important to care about, but he doesn't care about nitpicky little shit. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
He's an adult.
And I think in the little ways also, the captain has never really seemed fazed by any of our secrets that come out. Like, he doesn't seem to judge us for the reasons that made us pirates. It's more like, you're here, you're family now. Unless, of course, you, like, stage a mutiny. But there doesn't seem to be that much judgment for our past, whether it's for doing things that society frowns on or for doing more murder than society frowns on. You know, he's just equally accepting of all of us.
Yeah.
I guess more specifically to Bea, how did the captain prove his loyalty to you?
Yeah, because we all kind of joined up about the same times.
Yeah.
Except for Bay.
I think if it was that, what was his name again? Bishop? If he was the one who offered him that choice.
I could see that.
Yeah. Might have been enough at that point.
Further developing
Yeah.
the enmity between Bishop and Captain Blood.
And maybe it was in the same kind of line of her being pardoned because of that. And her being a witness to this confrontation. Very public declining of this generous offer of the crown. So maybe it was a bit of a she goes free, helps little moment of where she gets the key or something, helps him out of his cell, as this declining would of course be considered reason enough to be hanged himself. And she
Probably
helps him
light
escape.
treason, right?
Yeah.
Declining, something like that.
I mean,
And it's a bit of a tit for tat situation where she helps him get out and he offers her a new life, which at that point is enough because she's already seen that he's a man of honor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No further questions from me.
Next card.
All right. I feel like this one's cheating. Which is why I'm a pass it to Bridget.
Ooh. Like I think. Someone in Port Royal cares for you. Ooh, do I go with the expected or the unexpected?
Unexpected.
To tie further into some of this other wonderful historical and cultural backdrop we've created, one of the nuns at the parish, one of the parishes, is Bridget's aunt. And who probably where she learned to be literate, because her have a level of education that wouldn't have been expected, you know, peasant folk in the west of Ireland. And she worries and cares, but nominally supports the Republican cause because, well, not the Republican cause yet, but the Free Ireland cause, because that always exists, in varying levels, and I think she, and I think if we ever make Port and Port Royal, Bridget tries to put an appearance in, give her family and Catholic guilt, and to appease said same. But I think Aunt Nell, because, well, she might have her sister, you know, like her nun name of like Sister Maria Teresa or whatever it is. It's still Aunt Nell because no one else in the family is going to stop calling her anything else other than Helen. No, it is. She tries to stop by, and there's always this moment of like where I'm a nun and a good practicing Catholic, so I'm supposed to discourage you from the murder and, you know, piracy. But at the same time, I don't overly judge. And that might have been how Bridget first learned about the gentleman who the British English naval officer that she stabbed before he could finish surrendering.
How did Aunt Nell get from Ireland to Port Royal?
She was with the Sisters of Charity, and she was just happened to be just pure happenstance.
Did you know that when you first got to Port Royal, or was it a surprise?
Ooh, I think it was a surprise. I like it better as a surprise. It's like moment of like, hi. I shouldn't, stumbling into a church with, hiding like a couple blood stains, and then
I was gonna say, how bloody were you when she saw you?
And then it's like, no, hi, how are you? I'm just gonna hide this knife. It's fine. How are you doing? We're good. It's good to see you. Are you doing okay? And it's just like, Bridget tried to pull that entire deadpan, and like, nah, it didn't work. None at all.
Does anybody else know that your aunt is in Port Royal as a nun?
I don't think she hides it, but at the same time, I don't think she would say anything to like I don't think she hides it from the crew. It's like, if she's going to Port Royal, she's like, oh, I have to go see my aunt first, and then I can meet you at the bar. It's like, she doesn't, and I think a couple other, like, I'm not going to speak for everyone else, but it's like, I don't know, what would your reaction to be if Bridget's like, no, I can't meet you at the bar just yet, I have to go stop and see my aunt first, and then
Ronnie would be like, good point, I should also go see somebody. Yep. See you at the bar.
Yeah, I don't think Bridget cares that her aunt's there, that she would, and not care to hide, I should say. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Has Bea ever gone to pray with Bridget?
Probably, yeah. She would probably be, if she's met your aunt, quite impressed with her and quite taken with her. And if that's in Port Royal,
Everybody needs someone to pray for them.
then yeah, maybe she would even know about Bea's plans and be a little confidant and person of advice, for her.
And I think part of it is that I think Bridget is a believer to a certain extent, but she maybe doesn't have the same level of faith as Bea does, and so she possibly takes slight pride in shocking the fuck out of the old parish priest that's there for confession and being like, so I murderized 8 people today. Do you want to talk about how I did it? In confession. It's just that, like, it's like, ooh, wait. The old fogey priest's in. I gotta go to confession.
Don't, not again. Not again. He's had a heart attack last year. That's not one soul you want on your conscience.
I'll take it. I can't go into Port Royal, but I'll take his soul under my conscience.
But yeah, it's praying for all of you fuckers.
I don't think it'll help.
No, neither does Bea, but she does it anyway.
It's probably one of those things that Elizabeth does not understand the church at all, because she had like none of that around her, but she appreciates it's the thoughtfulness, like, oh, that's nice, she prays for us. I think that's a good thing.
I think Ronnie's like, if I believed that book, I'd be going to hell anyway, so we'll hang out down there together.
It's a book? I thought it was a building with people. And they do the talking.
Yeah, but they claim to be talking about the book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Not my party. I'm not the right person to talk to about it.
Why does your priest have to wear a collar? Does it keep his head on?
I'm not going to judge his personal choices.
But does it keep his head on?
No.
Oh. Then why wear
Not armor.
Well, I didn't know if it was like a, like if you took it off, his head would fall off.
No.
What do you think Catholics are?
Which picture book did you get into?
Voodoo dolls? We're losing Alyssa.
We
No,
lost
no.
that, Alyssa. Sorry.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Just
Any other question?
Next card.
all right. Oh, I have to pass this one because that wasn't. I was very on board from the beginning, so I will pass this one to Bea.
I mean, I've half answered this, I guess, so it fits quite well with her just being never meant to become a pirate, never meant to lead a life of swashbuckling, rope swinging piracy. It's also her not knowing if she could do that, which is why she started not the main crew. But right, I'll be on the ship, I'll help where I can, I'll earn my keep, but don't expect me to fight. The last time I did that, it didn't end well. But I will do what I must. I always have done that.
Have you ever second guessed that decision?
No. I follow the path God sends me on. As winding and weird and full of murder as it is. You relativize these things, I guess. My filthy atheist ass would know. But, yeah. I don't think she's regretted it at all. But she does long for a different life. Don't think that's mutually exclusive.
Are you still hesitant about the crew, or have you found your place?
No, she's found her place. And I think she will be the kind of Catholic who occasionally tries and lead you to the path of good and maybe try and talk to you about the Bible and this is what it does, and maybe even try and teach you how to read and picks the nice passages that have all the smiting and all the rain of fire and all the murder and brutalizing. But clearly that eventually ends in much excitement for the murder and the brutalizing, not actually the faith part of it all. And every now and then she'll try and talk Bridget into spending some more time with her aunt. It's a good influence.
So smite is another word for murder.
Yes,
Yeah.
burn.
But if God does it, it's okay.
Am I God?
Elizabeth, you're just like God.
I'm God.
No.
I gotta tell the captain.
It's the third time this happened. I'm gonna stop.
You can't keep telling her that if God does it, it's okay. You just need to tell her that God gave her parameters to work with.
Doesn't understand the word parameters. It has entirely too many syllables.
Alright, then rules. It's not like a big hard thing. She understands that.
Just off in the bathroom. Captain! Captain, I'm God! Did you know?
And then
You know I'm God?
Roddy walks up and is just like, makes eye contact with the captain. It's like, yeah, I got this. Goes, okay, I think the captain heard you. Let's go that way now.
You can be a wrathful
okay.
angel, maybe. Let's start small.
You are my wrathful angel, aren't you?
I mean, you
Yeah.
might even get to be in ranking up to being a cherubim at some point.
She has a nice singing voice.
Just imagine her just like in the background singing some tune very calmly, sharpening a knife and cleaning blades and things.
It sounds like a sea shanty at first, but when you start listening in, it is gory.
Mm-hmm.
All about innards and ripping them out, and
This too goes to that too goes on the ship we are, and a finger here and a toe goes there, and on the ship we are.
Okay, I want to pull out for just a second to tell everyone that Alyssa, fully in moment, had the perfect sea shanty for gore and murder. Did you recommend this one to us, or is this something that you came up with at the top of your head? Both of which I appreciate and respect.
I just that was all off the dome.
wow.
That's
Oh,
total
she pirate
improv.
right there.
Pirate's
Yes,
life for
pirate.
ye.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, or am I drawing?
Go ahead.
Okay. What about the sea frightens you most? The bottomlessness of it. I think Ronnie has this fear of being thrown in so deep that she swims the wrong way. Like if it's pitch black and you can't see which way the bubbles are going. Because you've heard tales. Everybody's heard tales of how that's happened. So I think as a result, Ronnie is probably the most, like, any sign of bad weather, and she is extremely meticulous about tying herself down, like tying off. Even while other people are like, it's fine, it's not a big deal. Ronnie's like, nope, here's my safety rope. I am not going anywhere.
Okay, we won't judge you for that.
Yep. Hey, at least it's not a fear of being in the water. That would be bad.
That would be worse.
Although, it would be funny. Listen, a pirate's life chose me, but I didn't ask for them to be in the water about it. I specifically agreed to be on a ship. No, but Roddy's fine with water. It's just, it's kind of that, like, deep-seated fear of, like, the darkness. I think it stems from a healthy respect for the water. And its ability to render you utterly helpless.
All right. I don't really have any questions there, to be
No,
honest.
neither do I.
All right, final card.
Final card. King William has offered you pardon in exchange for turning privateer against the British. Do you accept? Each of us gets to answer, and we'll go around, and so we start with Alyssa. Do you take William's pardon?
No. I wouldn't know what it was if it came to me, and I imagine it came on paper and not somebody talking, and even then, no.
thinks about it, possibly more than anyone else on the ship, as this might be an easier way to get what she ultimately is working towards. But there is having your goal and doing anything to reach it. And she knows morality can be adjustable in difficult situations. But in the end, what she's thinking about is more, if I did this, then I would be not just disappointing, it goes deeper, but just going against the people that I've shared my life with for the last 3-4 years. So I think there's this moment of her leaving and people actually fearing that she'll go for it, or what she'll do if the whole crew says no and she wants to do it. Will she become a mole or anything like that? But nah. Everything she's experienced over the last years makes the answer, if not simple, very clear. There's no other way that would feel right. No.
I think Ronnie would have a conversation with the captain about this. And I think they would talk about it and they would weigh it, because England is the country that didn't accept her in the first place. And so first, and then I think it would just be a very rational decision based on what Ronnie really wants in life. And I think she'd figure out that given the history with the English and their society of not accepting her in the first place, that going legit, so to speak, wouldn't change that. And ultimately, if it was a pardon and she would be allowed to immediately move to the countryside and be free, that'd be one thing. But it's a pardon in order to keep doing what she's doing, and she doesn't care about the pardoning. Like, that's not what's gonna get her what she wants. It doesn't help her in that way. So being a puppet, like, of course, being like all governments are bad, who cares? Like, it doesn't have that value to her because she doesn't care about the English of it all. She cares about where does this fit in my life plan? And it doesn't fit. So she's just like, nah, if I'm gonna be out here on the water, I'm gonna do it on my own terms with my friends, and not somebody conscribed into service.
I see that.
What about Bridget?
Fuck the English crown.
I thought as much, yeah.
Yeah, I think we all came down to that. But
So good to have someone at least that never changes within.
It's like there wouldn't have been a moral or institute. It's like, why would I want to fight for England against France? I don't care. I want
Yeah.
you out of my island. My island. Get your ass out. Look, there are lots of problems with that movie's historical accuracy. So many problems with that movie's historical accuracy, but I still appreciate Steven as character. So yeah, her reaction would have been, no. I don't care who sits on the English throne.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like Roddy's like, I don't particularly like ultimately is there any benefit to me and my desire to be a witch in the woods? No, fuck off. Because she would have been maybe willing to consider, because her issues with the French government too, but what's in it for me?
Yeah, I would just ruin the pardon by doing another murder. This is the only life I've known. What else would I do?
Oh, what if Elizabeth tried to take the pardon and ended up murdering it instead? It's like, oops, I guess I'm on the run again.
It's like, what? Hey guys, I'm back already.
It's been 5
All right,
minutes.
who had 3 weeks on the pool? 3 weeks. That was. Where we at, right?
I gave her 2 months. I had too much faith in her.
I gave her 15 minutes.
Flipping
I
through the
had
book.
too little.
Flipping through the book.
You knew, Roddy. You knew.
Well, apparently the captain won.
Oh, that figures. That man knows far too much for his own good.
Hawk set the over/under at 8 days. I mean, fair.
Yeah.
That's probably about as long as it would take for her to try normal life, be very bored, have no idea what to do with her money, lose most of it, and then just take a killing job and back on the run.
I bet one of those soldiers like conned you into playing cards or something in there and like did some shady shit and took your money.
Probably.
You're like, you may as well go back to a place that respects you.
Yep, and can take care of you.
She's our murder bunny.
I just missed you. I missed the crew.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No one out here is trying to take advantage of you.
Nope.
Also, I
Not at
bet
all.
you got shit for being a woman.
Yeah. Which doesn't really make any sense because I'm still better at all the things than they are. It's just I can't count or read. Right.
Well, we're going to work on your reading again. I have this lovely book called Revelation that I'm sure you're really going to enjoy.
Ronnie just slips another picture book to Elizabeth to have like open in between the Bible pages. She's pretending to read.
I'm here for all of us. I'm here for all of us. So that was Captain Blood's Odyssey. Did we enjoy ourselves?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It was a good time. Made friends along the way. Did some murdering.
What more could you want from a little
Had some
pirate
romance.
Little romance,
A little family. A little murder. A little more murder.
buckling on the high seas. But
Indeed.
we are going to let everybody say who, do all the spiel, do all the shill, and then I'll do mine at the end. We'll go in reverse order this time, so we're going to start to my right on the overlay. Whoops, right on the overlay, because I am a smart person, can remember these things, with Alyssa. Wow.
All good. Yeah, I've got nothing to share. I'm at Xander Slamilton if you want to find me around. I tend to lurk or watch things days later just in the background at work if I'm not listening to MCAT prep things. But it was nice to come back for a little bit and inhabit the murder pirate. It was very fun. Thank you for having me.
It was wonderful to have you. We are glad to have this little murder bunny pirate. It is fabulous. And then directly underneath Alyssa, we has Lydia. Hey Lydia, thank you for coming to join,
Hey.
and thank you for playing with us.
Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun as a Catholic person for once in my life. But yeah, this was really fun. It's a lovely way of just not feeling pressure for not that TTRPG games are full of pressure, but there's always this game of I have to achieve something effect to it. And card games like that are just a lovely little group storytelling project that's so relaxing. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, you can find me as Half Hours Tournament on Twitter. I'm not planning on really being part of TTRPG streams again, although there is some chat with Evan, Mari Nerd, but who knows. But if you want to find me in Scotland at some point, now that we can maybe travel again in the near future, let me know. Also, if you do ever come to Scotland and want to know more about its connections to the Caribbean, and not always a nice kind of connections, I want to quickly push the Black History Walk that takes place on Sundays usually, done by the founder of the Edinburgh Caribbean Institute, Lisa Williams, who's working with us at my job as well, and she's fantastic. And she's put together many, many stories of rebellions, of risings, of enslaved people throughout the Caribbean, and how that has, of course, also affected Scottish history, not that we talked about it for the longest time, and the amount of people of colour that lived in Edinburgh specifically, from the man who taught Charles Darwin everything about taxidermy, to Malvina Wells, to connectors to the Haitian Revolution, that is really should be credited with ending chattel slavery rather than the British fucking Parliament, which claims to have done it. Lots of stuff there that we can take on board for historical TTRPGs as well as just for history and for understanding things a little bit better. So if you ever have the chance, go for it, or look her up, Lisa Williams of the Edinburgh Caribbean Institute.
Can you put her link in chat?
Will do.
Then I can, and if you can also, then later I'll ask you to put the link in our Discord chat from today so that I can add it to the blurb on when it goes up on YouTube.
Nice.
I try. Don't always succeed, but I try. And then next up, hey Pooja, did we have fun today?
I had so much fun. Love to make every story queer, and I'm glad to do it today. Hello, everybody. I am Pooja. Once again, you can find me on Twitter at Pooja and at Poojaberwalkie on Instagram, in the Twitch chat, and that's also my link tree, which happens to have all of my regular streaming games for the month of March. So you can find me out there. And now I desperately want to go back to Edinburgh. I haven't been since a short little stay in 2012. So yeah, it's been a decade, and love this game, love cooperative storytelling in this sense. And I don't know, there's also something really fun about developing your character in the moment as play goes on, as part of the design versus sometimes something that just happens. Love it being deliberate. So yes, please come check out stuff. And of course, thanks to Prax and Alyssa and Lydia for being wonderful table mates. And it's good seeing y'all's faces again. And Lydia, it's been wonderful to meet you. And that's me.
So fabulous. Always. Thank you, Lydia, for putting those links in chat. Appreciate that. I will definitely add those to the blurb on YouTube when it goes up. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hi, it's directly underneath you in the little doogly-doo belonging to various people on YouTube. Phrasing. But as for me...
Green was the first one I heard.
Yeah, Green. I was like, which... But I couldn't remember which Green brother it was, so I couldn't answer.
One, both, whatever.
Exactly.
I just say both of them.
The
Yeah,
Vlog brothers. There we go.
Yeah, it was a Green. One of the two. As for me, hey y'all, you know me. I'm Prax at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter. You can find me. We will be back here on Tuesday for more of the uproarious hilarity that is me attempting to play a roguelite, but also to appreciate all the beauty and gorgeousness that is Raji, an epic adventure. It is gorgeous and pretty, and I love the storytelling and all of this thing, and I just, have a running death counter for a reason. It's fine. And then on Sunday, hey guys, we're back with Witcher. Witcher family, Witcher Roads Home is back for season 3. We will start on Sunday. There are some interesting people who have to make some interesting decisions, and they got to meet Detlef at the end of season 2, and now they have to decide how they're going to deal with their new questionable friend. Maybe. Also, some people may or may not be lost. It is a question. But other than that, check my Twitter because I was posting where I'm going to be, and the wonderful, fabulous people like these fine folks that I get to play with and hang out with. So, oh wait, we should try and raid somebody. Sometimes we can do that. Can we do that today? Yes, we can. Hey, we're gonna go raid Kelly because Kelly's up and playing Assassin's Creed. So, you know, thematically appropriate. So we'll go raid Kelly. But until next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye.